In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a vinyl die cut decal with your solo machine. This first video I took on my phone, and it is to show you how to set your origin point with the camera. So we'll go to that first, and then we'll come back to the settings in the software. The first thing that you're going to want to do is add your material to your mat, and then line up your mat to this groove here in the machine, all right, to get it straight. And also, I just barely covered the black part, and then I positioned my blade toward the corner of my material, okay? And then to set the origin using the camera, you just hit set camera, okay? And then you're going to press OK, and it's going to take a picture, okay? So here's my material on my mat. What I'm going to do is just touch this corner, and that red crosshair is going to show up there, okay? So then I'll press OK. It's going to take another picture, and then you can see that those blue dotted lines are right at the bottom of my material and right along the side of my material. So then I'm going to go ahead and press the home button, and that's all there is to it. It's very easy to do, so I just wanted to try to show you that that is how you can set the origin for using the camera. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So then you would go to the software and follow the instructions that I am going to post in the following video. Okay, so once you have learned how to set the origin using the camera, then you're going to come to the Create software. And what I've done is just typed out the word Create here and welded it because it is a script font, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle around it, and I'm going to turn the color to none and the stroke color to red, the same color as the image here. All right, I'll bump this up a little bit just so you can see it better. Okay, so now I have this. What I want to do is add an offset, because the offset, you know, this is your vinyl, all right? It's going to cut this, and then it's going to stop. So you can weed this out and apply your transfer tape. And then what you need is an offset to cut through the backing of the vinyl, the backing that your vinyl comes on, okay? So let's go ahead and select the word to add the offset, go to Effects, Shadow Layer, and I'll turn this black so it's easier to see, and it needs to be a different color from what your other element here is. And I think I tried this at 250. It was either 200 or 250 with blackout selected. Yeah, I think 250 looks good. All right, so now what this is going to do is it's going to cut the transfer tape around in the shape of this black. It's going to cut the red vinyl kiss cut, all right, so that you can weed it, and then it's going to cut the backing around the black, the transfer tape and the backing around the black. I hope that makes sense. All right, so then we need to select each layer, and we need to come to the style panel and decide how how we're going to set this. So for the red layers, I'm going to set those to score, and I'm going to give them a pressure to kiss cut vinyl. All right, whatever setting that is for whatever vinyl you're using, and you're going to want to do test cuts to make sure that, you know, you're not cutting through the backing and you're cutting deep enough to get all the way through the vinyl. All right, so then the next layer is red. So again, I'm going to come to style and change that to score. And then the next layer is the shadow layer. So I'm going to go to the style panel and I'm going to make sure that is set to cut. So now I have a score pressure and a cut pressure. All right. So then what I'm going to do is size this in the position and size to about a 4-inch decal. And then I'm going to move it down here to the bottom right, and then I am going to come to create. Okay, so the first thing is we want this set in WYSIWYG mode. What you see is what you get. You want to have use the software speed and pressure checked, and then you're going to set the pressure to cut through the transfer tape and the backing for your pressure. And then your score pressure is going to be set to kiss cut your vinyl and your rectangle weeding box. Okay, so when it does that, you're going to cut the red first. Well, let's go to cut by color first, and let me show you that. Cut each color separately, separate jobs. Okay, and that is how you can have two separate pressures and have the machine stop in between. Now, you want your shadow layer to be on the bottom, so I'll left click on that and drag it to the bottom. All right, so it'll cut my red first. I can weed it out. Let me go ahead and turn this off. I can weed out all this white part inside here, just leaving the create inside this weeding box, okay? And then when I cut the black part, it's going to cut through the transfer tape and the offset, leaving just this part here with the 3 layers. The transfer tape on top, the vinyl in the middle, and the backing of the vinyl would be the 3rd layer, okay? And when you cut your first layer and it stops, weed it out, add your transfer tape, and then you need to go back to your machine and use the camera again to set your origin so that it will cut your offset perfectly around your word. And that is the reason for setting the origin using the camera. So I hope this helps you. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really, really not. I overthunk it for hours yesterday, and I was texting back and forth with Sandy, who actually wrote the user's manual on the software and the machine, and you know, she knows everything. Love her to death. But I was overthinking it, and until I actually did it was when I realized, oh, okay, that's pretty easy. So it's a little more work, of course, than in the Cricut, but it's a much more precise cut, I think. So anyway, I will put a link in the description below for Sandy's website where you can find the user manuals and a lot of other resources. But in the solo user manual, I believe it's chapter 3 and then the 5th thing, so 3.05, I believe is what it is, that explains how to set the camera, the origin by using the camera. I did take a video with my phone and hopefully got that in the beginning of this video, but if not, there is that user manual there for you to figure out how to do that. Now, you can use your test pen. You can use that. Just make sure that you assign your layers to draw, okay? And then you'll at least be able to see how it's going to do it, you know, like when it's going to stop, and you'll be like, oh, that's when I apply the transfer tape. And then, you know, using the pen will give you a better idea of how this is going to work. But now that I know how to do it, it's fairly simple. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And, you know, you can always find me in the Facebook groups. There's a link for that also in the description. So thanks for watching.